This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on July 18th, 2014. Our time is 8:48 Mountain. Our radio show runs on your favorite radio stations. The shows are archived at HESradio.com and rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Harold does daily market commentary. You can find it on his websites. We have a podcast as well through iTunes. Type in World Financial Report on Radio. Subscribe to the podcast. The show comes in automatically. You can listen to us anywhere you go on your portable device. You'll also find the daily market commentary on the podcast site through iTunes. As we tape today's show, it's a Friday morning. Harold is currently in Dallas-Fort Worth. He's down there, part of the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation conference and brainstorming session. He'll talk more about that here shortly. But it was a crazy week because we saw that airliner shot down, and obviously it's a huge concern. Something like that could start a world war. You have Israel fighting in Gaza. And the day that these two events happened, we saw gold and silver go up dramatically. That's why we say have hard assets in your portfolio at all times. And we should say, Harold, up front, let's not confuse things. I know somebody made a comment here recently that we're negative. We are not negative. Harold really is one of the most positive people I know. And I'm a very optimistic, positive person as well. But our radio show has always been about realism. It's not about optimism or pessimism. It's about realism and realistically looking at where we're at in the times we live in and how we need to situate our money based on that. It has nothing to do with us cheerleading and hoping that bad things happen. We don't want bad things to happen. But the truth of the matter is you have insurance for your health, your car, your obviously your family, and we're saying you need it on your portfolio as well. We're being realistic, looking at what's happening in the world today, Harold, and it's a situation, as you sat through the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Conference, where you hear all the different stories that you're hearing, it really puts life into perspective.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. It's a tremendous conference. They're partners in which we're a partner with the charity. Their partners are Ford, LPGA, Bank of America is their biggest partner. These are massive corporations that are involved with the charity that raise money, but are also aware of what's happening in the world. And again, I was with 100 of the sharpest people that I've ever met over this weekend at the conference. And I'll tell you, a lot of the feeling is caution. Though some and most Americans, tend to invest in stocks and real estate, the feeling at this conference was not of bullishness. It was of caution. And again, all of us were extremely upset, obviously, during the conference yesterday to find out about the Malaysian airline debacle. And, it appears that Russia's missiles shot down this plane. It's a scary situation. These are two Malaysian airlines that have been either attacked or we don't know what happened to the first one, but things are not looking good in that area. And obviously, if Russia did shoot down this plane, there's going to be massive repercussions from it. And as Randy said at the beginning of the show, these type of things could lead to world wars, and that's the last thing in the world that we want to see. As far as reporting what's happening in the world markets, all you have to do is watch the news and understand what's going on. What we do is we analyze it and try to figure out what's going to happen financially in the markets, because we don't want to see the listeners to our radio show and our clients get hurt with the markets going the wrong way. And evidently, feelings are changing as to what's happening in the United States, and it's not positive. So basically, you've got these world situations, obviously what we just spoke about with the downed airliner, and then the war happening in Israel. But there's a lot of problems in the world today, financially and geopolitically. And again, we just have to realize that these are not normal times. If these were normal times and the economy was great and the currency markets were strong again and our stock markets were great, it'd be a different situation, but that's not happening. The bottom line is that there's major problems, and we're going to have to work through them, and the markets are going to react to them. We've always known for the last 3 years that gold and silver have been suppressed by the banks, for whatever their reasons are, and we saw a big move on Thursday in the markets when all these geopolitical situations happened, but now it's Friday, and gold is backed off about $10, and silver's down about 30 cents. However, we're still trading above the 1,300 level in gold, which is heavy support. 1280 is actually the heavier support, and silver's trading right at around the $21 level. Oil's come back up. It's trading at about 103 at this particular point. The currency markets have been all over the place. And again, the markets will definitely respond to what these situations are dictating. And there's just no doubt in my mind. Again, I get as frustrated as everybody else to see that these markets are not trading on their own volition. They're just not. There's no way in the world that the Dow Jones, the stock market in the United States, should be sitting at 17,000 points. It's at almost record highs at a time when things are so concerning and the U.S. economy is not strong. The middle class is getting killed. All you have to do is watch Walmart stock and you'll understand what's happening with the middle class in the United States. And if the middle class is not doing well, there's no way in the world the economy can improve because it's the middle class that spends all the money. And the fact is that when they're not spending money, like they are at this particular point, the economy suffers. People aren't going out for dinner, going to movies, buying clothes, buying electronics or anything like that, and the U.S. economy is stagnating. So how in the world is the Dow sitting at a record level when we have a stagnant economy? It's not growing at all. The first quarter didn't do well, and they're predicting that the second quarter is going to be at a loss also. So how in the world are these markets reacting positively to such negative news? The other thing is that Janet Yellen came out the other day and said that there's a potential bubble in tech stocks, that the unemployment numbers are not good enough, and she wasn't happy at all with the economy, and based on that very bearish news, the stock market went up for the day. Again, you scratch your head and you say, how in the world is this possible, and how stupid do they possibly think that we are, that we don't understand what's going on? But, with all this happening and all this skullduggery and all this manipulation and everything that's happening in the market, you still have people trading in that market. And I'm shocked at that, to be honest with you, because, again, who wants to play in a fixed market? So basically, these markets will react eventually the way that they're supposed to. There's no doubt that we do not trade or recommend trading physical gold and silver. We recommend buying and holding it. And that's exactly what we need to do at this point. With all these scenarios going on at this time and all the potential for markets to, like the stock markets, to go south, I've been reading reports this morning that basically confirms with some of the top people in the financial world that are all extremely cautious about their stock positions at this particular point. So again, we've just got to be smart about this. This isn't about trading in the precious metals markets. This is about holding physical gold and silver as a hedge against all these things that are coming forward. Again, we've been in a bear market for the last 3 years, which was not based on any fundamentals in gold and silver. The fundamentals for gold and silver are extremely strong. Shortages in the market, potential high inflation. We're seeing food prices rise. Oil's trading above $100 a level. Currency markets are in trouble. That should be a recipe for substantially higher gold and silver prices. But obviously, and we talked about it last week, a massive short position by the banks in the metals market is what's stopping this rally. But eventually that is going to run its course. And what will happen when these markets reverse is you'll start to see gigantic spike ups in gold and silver. You'll see days when gold will go up $100 to $200. And then you're going to start to see people scrambling to get back into the marketplace. What we're saying is just let the market run its course. Don't be concerned about the day-to-day activity in the marketplace, because all in all, the market's just trading in a range right now. But there is potential for the gold market to not only surpass the $1,900 level that we saw in 2011, but it could go substantially higher than that. And we're predicting that it will. So are many top analysts that feel the exact same way. There's a lot of frustration in all the markets at this point here. People just can't understand why these markets are doing what they're doing when you've got the fundamental news that's happening in the market. Again, on a day like Thursday, gold should have gone up $50, $60, $70 on the day. It had a good day, but it didn't go up as much much as it was, and the reason for that is that you've got these banks that are shorting the market and stopping the rally. That will eventually stop, and I imagine that they cannot go on forever doing this. The markets are going to erupt, they're going to explode in price, and people are going to try to play catch-up. What we have is the opportunity to own physical gold at a very good price right now. Gold is trading right at $1,300. We saw $1,900 in 2011 for a very good reason. And if they didn't bring down the price of gold in 2011 by raising the margin requirements so substantially, we'd probably be sitting right now at $2,000 to $2,500. That's how strong we feel that the gold market is. Silver the same way. Major shortages in the market. That should have brought the price of silver up substantially, but right now it's trading in a range. I'm very bullish. I haven't sold any of my physical gold and silver. In fact, I'm getting ready to buy some more very, very soon. In fact, we're going to bring to you within the very near future some opportunities to buy physical precious metals through myself at unbelievable prices. All I want is for our clients and the listeners to our show to be able to do well. And I've just putting the final deal together with some gold producers out of South Africa, and we may be able to bring to you within the very near future gold at spot prices, physical gold that we can deliver directly to you. So I'm working on that program for you. It should be ready in about a week, and we'll talk about it on the radio show and make it available to you. But all I want is for the listeners to our show and our clients to be able to own assets at very good prices as a hedge against inflation and the opportunity to make a lot of money. So within the next week or 2 weeks, we'll have our deal finalized with our gold producers out of South Africa, and we're going to bring you actual bricks of gold and nuggets of gold that you would not be able to get anywhere else, and we're going to do it basically at spot prices. So we're very excited to be able to bring that to you. Again, with what's happening in the world financially and geopolitically, you need to own assets like gold, silver, diamonds. Now, at this conference, we are with some of the top corporations in the world. We were with Ford. We were with the LPGA. We were with Bank of America. We were with massive corporations, and basically our business was so well received, they understood what we're doing. They understand the alternative and hard asset market, the idea of owning physical gold and silver, the idea of owning diamonds as portable private wealth that, again, could be sold in other currencies. They all saw it, and we were some of the guest speakers at this amazing conference that there was over 100 partners, and we were the only family-owned business. Everybody else was a massive corporation, and when we spoke, these people listened, and we got to socialize afterwards, and many of the top corporations believed that the route that we were going was the right route to go. So basically, it was a phenomenal conference. We made some great new friends and partners with massive corporations that want to partner with us and do deals with us. So we're in the diamond business. We're in the hard asset business, the alternative investment business, and that was extremely well received by some of the top corporate people at this conference over this weekend. So again, Randy, I know we're in the right position, and I know that over time, that we are going to come out of this way ahead. What we want to do is make sure that we can preserve our capital during these extremely difficult times, and when the markets start to take off again, that's our opportunity to make a lot of money. I'm positive that gold and silver is going to go substantially higher. That's why I'm working out this deal in South Africa. If you want further information on my physical gold program, where you're going to be able to buy physical gold through us at basically spot prices and deliver directly to you, give us a call. We'll send you all the information. It's going to take about a week to finalize it. And again, it's going to be very simple, just an outright purchase. There's no spread. There's no interest. There's no nothing. It's just buying gold, putting it away, buying it at the best price you possibly can, and let the markets do its thing. And we're going to bring that to you within the next week to 2 weeks. But if you would like information on owning physical gold through my company, just give us a call, send us an email, and we'll send you all the information as soon as it's finished. But it's imperative at this point that if you do not own hard assets like gold and silver and diamonds, and I got to say that when we did our presentation on diamonds, a lot of these corporations were not up to date on how strong of an investment this was. By the end of our presentation, and they understood why you would want to own a portable private asset that could be sold in other currencies and all that. It was one of the most popular presentations we've ever done. So again, I'm walking away from this conference feeling phenomenal because, again, some leaders, top leaders in industry all thought that the direction that we were heading in was the right direction. So again, I'm excited, Randy. Obviously concerned about what's happening in the world right now. Wars in Israel is not a good thing, and it could lead to substantially worse situations. And obviously what's happening in the Ukraine and Russia is absolutely terrible. And I just feel horrible for all the people, the 296 people that were on that flight. It's just a terrible time.
Speak with Harold about investing in diamonds, investing in gold and silver, the new program he's putting in place. Connect with him at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. The telephone number 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. The website rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We'll talk about diamonds a little later in the show. You can also get our free weekly newsletter. If you were receiving it at one point from another source, you are not getting our weekly newsletter any longer. It's the World Financial Report on Radio newsletter. That is the proprietary newsletter that goes along with our radio show. If you're receiving something else, get your name on the list for our newsletter. Connect with Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com or 1-800-432-1022. He'd be happy to put your name on the list. We'll send it out to you via email free of charge every week. The companion to our radio show is a must-read. The way I look at it is it's like a smorgasbord. People usually don't go to a smorgasbord and complain that there's too much. But the truth of the matter is we put the most important information together down on the pieces of paper, and Harold and I go through it. We're on the same page when we do the show. You're seeing exactly what we're seeing, and you can do a self-edit. You choose what you want from this smorgasbord of information. So speak with Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, about investing in gold and silver, also diamonds, and getting your name on our newsletter list. If you were getting our newsletter from another source, you're not getting our official newsletter any longer. So connect with us, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com is the website. This week in our newsletter, we have some outstanding information. In fact, we have an interview with Bill Fleckenstein, and he says stocks will crash and possibly wipe out bonds. And he goes on to say, if inflation is ever perceived as our real problem and the central banks as the cause of it, which is the end game for this period of central bank activism and printing money that began with Greenspan, then the financial markets are going to have real problems. So I think a horrible period in the financial markets is quite likely, but I don't know if the financial system will be taken to the edge of the abyss the way it was last time, though it's not impossible. I think there's going to be real trouble in the second half of the year. A lot of times we have these dislocations in the fall because people have gotten giddy about what's really going on, because if there is some weakness, they think it's going to get better, and it doesn't. You have a dislocation of opinion near the end of the year when people's report cards are coming out. That's why the fall sometimes precipitates these big breaks. I think we could see that again this fall for sure. If you'd like to read this interview with Bill Fleckenstein, get our free weekly newsletter from Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com or 1-800-432-1022. Another interview that Greg Hunter, formerly of CNN, did with Yvonne von Greyers said the 2008 meltdown revisited, there's no solution. Gold and financial expert Yvonne von Greyers says, buckle your seatbelts. A replay of the 2008 financial crisis will soon return. What happened in 2008 was expected by us for quite a long time. The solution of $25 trillion to save banks and financial markets was not a solution. It was just a temporary deferral of the problem. The money, as we know, went into the banking system, and it didn't go into the real economy. The banks in Europe still have the same problems. they are leveraged as much as before. Deutsche Bank is leveraged 50 times. U.S. banks are slightly less leveraged, but they have the derivatives that are not included on their balance sheets, of course. But if you include that, they have more leverage than the European banks. We are now in a situation where every major economy in the world is in a total mess. Japan's economy is going to disappear in the Pacific. China is having problems. Europe is having problems. The EU will never work and was not supposed to work. The euro is an artificial currency and in the long run will not survive. The U.S. stock market is at an all-time high, but that has nothing to do with the real economy, which is an absolute mess. So the world has never been in a situation where all nations simultaneously are having problems that are insolvable. Every major nation is running a deficit today, so right now I think we're going to revisit 2008, but this time there is no solution. And Janet Yellen, the Fed chief, she spoke this week and was interviewed by the two branches of Congress, the House and the Senate in the United States. And Elizabeth Warren, who was elected as a senator for Massachusetts, she actually interviewed Yellen over J.P. Morgan's living will. Every major institution, financial institution, had to put together a living will, how they would unwind in case of a crisis. And Warren has some serious concerns about J.P. Morgan's living will, which she notes has been approved each of the last years. Compared to J.P. Morgan, Warren said Lehman, which went under during the financial crisis, was tiny. Warren noted that at the time of its bankruptcy, Lehman had $639 billion in assets. Today, J.P. Morgan has $2.5 trillion in assets. Warren also said that Lehman has 209 subsidiaries when it failed. Today, J.P. Morgan has 3,391 subsidiaries, or more than 15 times the number Lehman had when it went under. So, Harold, with about a minute left, why we bring that up is we have serious concerns about the stock and bond market from Fleckenstein and Grayers, and yet at the same time we have Elizabeth Warren interviewing Janet Yellen, and Janet sort of being a deer in the headlights. Nothing has changed on Wall Street. It's still the same. And if something goes wrong, we could have a major meltdown, and that's why we advocate hard assets.
You better believe it, Randy. Again, these are the most unbelievable times that we have ever seen. And again, it's a time for cautiousness. It's not time for speculation. It's a time to listen to what, the experts are saying and take caution and have the type of assets that will offset the risk in the markets. And that's hard assets. It's physical gold and silver. It's diamonds. It's those type of assets that will not only hold your money for you, keep it, but on top of that, give you an opportunity to profit on it also. So again, it's a very important time, and we just got to be smart about this. We have to be conservative with no speculation, and again, the markets will eventually come to us.
Speak with Harold personally and privately about investing in hard assets, his new gold and silver program, which is very exciting, diamonds, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Speak with Harold. Connect with him. 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, or rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We're going to come back and talk about Harold being on television again. Also, it was an interesting week for pink diamonds. They had a royal visitor. We'll tell you more as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. He's currently in Fort Worth, Texas. They're part of the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. It's sort of a think tank, and they're getting together to obviously get some ideas, and it's an overall conference, and Harold will tell us more about it here shortly. If you would like to connect with Harold, you can do it. By the way, the show is being taped on July 18th, 2014. Our time is 9:13 Mountain. And you can connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Rarecoloreddiamonds.com. His telephone number, 1-800-432-1022. A radio show runs on 630 CHED in Edmonton. The shows are archived on Harold's websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We also have a podcast through iTunes, our radio show goes anywhere you do. Type in World Financial Report on Radio. You will find us there. And Harold does daily market commentary. You can find it on the podcast site and on his website as well. And it was a very interesting week in the world of hard assets. Our featured diamond of the week, to me, is just absolutely stunning. One of the most beautiful diamonds we have ever featured. It's a .30 carat heart-cut, fancy, vivid, purplish pink Argyle, the Argyle mine. And it was interesting that there was a visitor, and sort of a bit of a royal visitor to the Argyle mine, and taking a look at the pink diamond tender. And that was the wife of the Japanese Prime Minister. She was there and taking a look around, and obviously when it comes to pink diamonds, Rio Tinto, the owner of the Argyle mine, sells around 30% of the Argyle pink diamonds to Japan, where they have a huge love for colored diamonds and pink diamonds in particular. But it's one of those stories you can check out in our free weekly newsletter. You can get our free weekly newsletter from Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com or 1-800-432-1022. Harold, we have an outstanding featured diamond, and this is the type of diamond that you would bring on a television show. You've been on Bloomberg in the past, and you're going to be on Fox Business. Explain that.
It's exciting, Randy. I was contacted to Fox Business News. Deidre Bolton has left Bloomberg, as we all know, and she went to Fox News, and she has a show called Risk and Reward, and we were contacted by the producers this week and asking us to come up to New York to do an interview on diamonds. So, again, when these type of scenarios happen, when the markets are getting like they are and diamonds start to come to the forefront, these financial shows contact us to do interviews on them, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'll give you the exact date as soon as I work it out. It's to be around the end of July, beginning of August, and we'll be in New York on Fox News, and they want to talk about diamonds. And again, that's what I love to talk about. So the financial markets are certainly conducive to this type of asset. Otherwise, they wouldn't have us on. We've been on Bloomberg 4 times to talk about diamonds, and now Deidre Bolton has gone to Fox News, and Fox News is very, very anti-Obama type of thing, and they just feel that the economy is perfect for these type of investments, and that's why we're going on. Also, as most know, I live in Colorado for the summers, and I work out of there, and we're doing a big show in Aspen on August the 14th. And basically, it's a charity event for Susan G. Komen, but we got contacted by a local television station, and they would like to do an hour-long interview on my company and diamonds and how they affect the world economy. So, again, we've got a lot of press coming up. A lot of the world is wanting to know about alternative investments as there's more and more risk in the bond market and stock markets. People look towards a safer asset, and that's the diamond market. The featured diamond this week is a vivid pink Argyle diamond. Vivid is the highest saturated color in pink and by far the most expensive. Those diamonds tend to double every 2 to 3 years. The closer we get to the mine closing down, which is going to be in 6 years from now, these diamonds can literally explode in price, as we anticipate that they will, and we anticipate that the price of our pink diamonds can increase 5 to 10 times what the prices are today. So we're very bullish on diamonds. They are one of the most important assets that you could own at this particular point because they never lose value. They're rare diamonds, and I'm not talking about diamonds, that are in the multi-million-dollar range. I'm talking about diamonds like Argyle pinks that you can buy in the $50,000 to $100,000 range. Those diamonds, there will not be any more of. The Argyle mine produces 95% of all the pinks in the world. It's only about 200 carats a year, and soon that is going to all be gone. And when the mines close, and the closer we get to the mines closing, these prices will just explode. And this will be the only opportunity that we will ever have to partake in a mine that's about to shut down that actually controls 95% of any type of diamond, let alone something as valuable as pinks. We recommend this investment very, very heavily. It's a very safe investment. Again, there's so few of these diamonds available that they never decline in value. However, to make 5 to 10 times your money over the next 5 to 10 years is extremely enticing. And again, we're only going to know that this will never happen again because there is no other mine in existence that produces 95% of any given diamond. Don't forget, the diamond market is primarily made up of white diamonds. White diamonds that come out of the ground as rough diamonds that when they're mined by miners. Then they're sold to cutters and polishers that will cut and polish these white diamonds and sell them to the jewelry trade. That's primarily what 99% of the diamond market is. My part of the market is the investment aspect of it. And basically, there are certain diamonds that have track records. There are certain diamonds that are so rare and so few of that they do tremendously well no matter what the economy does. Yellow flawless diamonds, let's say a 1-carat yellow flawless diamond that in 1980 sold for $500 today sells for over $20,000. A diamond that you could buy today for $20,000 in 10 years from now will be worth about $75,000. But if you take the same $20,000 and put it into a mutual fund, there's no way that you'll get the same return. So basically, when you look about these and when you look at what happens at auctions, sure enough, they concentrate and they advertise what these massive diamonds are selling for, in the multi-millions of dollars, sometimes $10-20 million or more. But when you look at the yellow flawlesses, the argyle pinks, the smaller diamonds are selling for way more than what the estimates are and much bigger returns percentage-wise than even on the largest diamonds. So we've concluded that it's really the diamonds that are under the $100,000 level that are actually going to do the best. So basically that's what our clients own. Yellow flawless, argyle pinks, D-flawless whites. Those are all the type of diamonds that you want to own and put away. The next 10 years, you could see sizable returns in these investment diamonds. And what never existed before was a secondary market to resell them. You see, in stocks, you have the exchanges, that trade in New York where they put buyers and sellers together. The same thing with the commodity markets. In Chicago and in New York, they have exchanges where they put buyers and sellers together, and that's how you sell your gold and silver or your soybeans or your oil or whatever commodity you're holding. What we did is we created almost an exchange for selling diamonds. We have H. Siegel Fine Auctions, and we put buyers and sellers together, and that's how our clients sell their diamonds. We get paid on a profit-only basis. So when you invest in diamonds through my company, rarecoloreddiamonds.com or hsiegelfineauctions.com, we only get when we resell your diamonds, we only get 10% of the profit only. So if our clients don't profit, we don't make any money on the sale. But basically, this is a phenomenal market. With the currency markets in such huge trouble, Randy talked about Japan, that Japan's been in a recession for 20 years. They're doing everything wrong. And basically, your investments, if you're living in Japan, your investments have done horrible for the last 10 to 20 years. But put money into a rare colored diamond, put it away for 10 years, and you'll see tremendous returns. So again, we're very, very excited. Again, we're in Texas right now doing a conference with Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Charity, which I'm a big supporter of. As it tends to be a woman's disease. However, as men, we have mothers, we have grandmothers, we have daughters and wives and sisters, and it's our obligation, to help with this terrible disease. And I'm so impressed with this charity that I'm all in with them. I do a lot of work for them. We did an auction for them, their first auction that we ever did in May, and basically we raised for them $70,000 in 1 hour. And we are very proud to write a check for $70,000 to this phenomenal charity. And they've opened up many doors for us. So, again, it's something that is very close to my heart. Many people know people that have been affected by this horrible disease, and we just want to do our part. And by raising money with my companies, it's never been done before, but it's being done now, and it's very, very successful. So, again, the diamond market, especially at this particular time, is on fire. It's one of the best investments you could make. It's a very safe investment, but it gives you the potential to make huge returns. If you would like to learn more about investing in rare-colored diamonds, not only can you go to my website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, we have a whole investing section, but we also do online seminars, virtual online seminars. So even though you may be sitting in Toronto or Edmonton or Calgary or anywhere in the world, you can attend our seminars because they're virtual from the comfort of your own home. It's never, ever been done before. It's the only company of its kind. It's taken me 2 years to build this business, to build a website. My friends in Vancouver, Relentless Technologies, are these brilliant young guys that were very successful in building this one-of-a-kind website. So we literally can do auctions and seminars to anybody in the world from the comfort of their own home while I'm in my offices here in the United States and Canada. So, again, this is a phenomenal, phenomenal market for us, and we built this as a secondary market to resell diamonds. It's never existed before, but it does exist now, and that's why Bloomberg and Fox News has had us on, and this will be for the 5th time because of our auction business and what we've done in the investment diamond section.
Speak with Harold about our featured diamond. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, click on the featured diamond of the week, and you will see one of the most stunning heart-shaped diamonds you will ever see in your life. It's like a museum piece. It's a .30 carat, heart-cut, fancy, vivid, purplish pink argyle. And if you wanted to stun the lady in your life, maybe you're planning on popping the question, or maybe you're just looking at adding to a diamond portfolio, starting a diamond portfolio, something like this would be a bedrock investment when it comes to hard assets. And I know that there's more to hard assets than just the price going up. As I was saying to someone the other day, when you walk in a room, and this is something that Harriet Siegel, Harold's wife, has had happen to her many times. You walk in a room, you're wearing some of the world's most beautiful diamonds, and the reaction you get is priceless. And we saw that when we had a seminar here in Edmonton, and we had people with different diamond rings that Harold had put together for them, and the attention that they received was simply astounding. And it's a feeling, Harold, that really makes people obviously feel special, yet at the same time know they have an asset that will stand the test of time. Unlike stock or bond certificates, a company can go bankrupt, and obviously a bond certificate, no one's going to wear that to a cocktail party or to a major event like Susan G. Komen. Just out of curiosity, how many women there were wearing stock and bond certificates?
Well,
not many.
They weren't looking very good.
That's why we say diamonds.
You're 100% right, though, Randy. Not only is it nature's art, it's a beautiful, magnificent piece that, women get tremendous joy from wearing and pride, but then to be able to give it back to us 5 or 10 years later and let us sell it for you at a profit is a phenomenal thing. It's almost like being able to go into a jewelry store, wear anything that you want, and give it back 5 years later, and it won't cost you anything. That's basically very similar to what we're talking about, except we invest in diamonds as an investment because they are a good investment. There was a diamond that sold last month, a blue diamond, one of the rarest diamonds in the world. It sold for $17.5 million. Now, we've seen many blue diamonds sell for upwards of that amount of money because they're so rare. But the story is that it also sold at Christie's in 1994 for $2.5 million. So in 1994, it sold for $2.5 million. 20 years later, it sold for $17.5 million. How is that not a phenomenal investment? All the market needed was a secondary market to resell them, and that's what I built, was H. Siegel Fine Auctions, for the sole purpose of putting buyers and sellers together and making profits on diamonds and being able to trade them, and that's exactly what we do. Now, it's also important that you understand that owning diamonds is not short-term. You don't buy diamonds and then expect to sell them in a year or 2 or even 3. Not that you're going to lose any money, you're just not going to make any money. So the fact is that you want to hold on to these diamonds for a while. They're a longer-term investment. Most of my clients buy them for retirement because they can't really rely on the RSP market. So basically, my clients buy them, they put them away. Some make them into beautiful jewelry, but most just put them in their safety deposit box. And when the time comes to sell them, we will sell the diamonds for you. We have clients now all over the world. One of the other major reasons that we're involved with the charity is not only because I totally respect these people and it's a phenomenal charity, but one of the other reasons is that the pursuit of high net worth clients. And the people that support this charity, are normally millionaire and billionaire families. So we get the opportunity through our association with Susan G. Komen to attend these functions with these multi-billionaire families, and we get to show diamonds, and the proceeds go to the charity. But it introduces us to very wealthy families that will attend our auctions and eventually buy our diamonds. And that's one of the major other reasons why I'm involved in the charity. It's like any other business situation. Everybody goes into a business situation in order for them to all do well. And the perfect scenario is that's what happens. Everybody does well, and that's what appears is happening with this charity. We're meeting very wealthy clients. We're doing a lot of business, and we're donating an awful lot of money to a very worthwhile charity. So to me, it's a win-win situation all around, and that's obviously what we're after.
RareColoredDiamonds.com is Harold's website. You can speak with him personally and privately about diamonds. 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, RareColoredDiamonds.com. The featured diamond of the week, it's a .30 carat heart-cut, fancy, vivid, purplish pink argyle. And we have said to you on many occasions, the Argyle mine will be shutting down in 2020. They'll have diamonds maybe for a few years after that, and then 90 to 95% of the world's pink diamonds will be gone. The 2014 Argyle Pink Diamonds Tender Collection will be officially launched in August and will tour the world until October. Around 150 collectors, connoisseurs, and luxury jewelers are invited to place sealed bids on the diamonds. Prices for the diamonds can exceed $1 million per carat. And this year's collection will celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Argyle Pink Diamonds Tender. And then here we are, approximately 6 years away, Harold, from the mine being closed.
It's one of the great opportunities that we've ever had. And for those that don't partake in it, this is something that you will remember forever. You'll remember that you had the opportunity to invest in something that is going to become extinct. Pink diamonds are so valuable and so rare and so beautiful, but the thing is that all of them pretty well are produced in one mine, and that mine is going to close before 2020. It's one of the best investments you could make. If you're concerned about your stocks, if you're concerned about bonds and everything like that, take some of that money off the table. Take some of the risk off the table right now and put it into an investment like a pink Argyle diamond. Believe me, it'll be one of the best investments you've ever made, and it'll get you a lot further than being in the stock and bond markets, especially at this time.
One thing that we've always advocated is invest in things that cannot be printed. You cannot print a diamond. You cannot print gold and silver. You cannot go out and obviously print a major art piece or a car. These are hard assets, and they are finite. And we obviously believe that with the diamond market, when you go to RareColoredDiamonds.com, you're seeing some of the world's most beautiful diamonds, like going to a diamond museum. And we encourage you to go to RareColoredDiamonds.com and take a look around and speak with Harold. But invest in things that cannot be printed. You have central banks all around the world printing money on a daily basis to try and solve the financial crisis, and it has not worked. But they continue to do it. They continue to print money, thus meaning that the money you're holding in your pocket, if you're holding that currency, you are being debased. Your money is becoming worth less and less every day. The more that they print, the more that is in circulation. Now, when it comes to hard assets like diamonds, you have the rarest of the rare, and on top of it, we have an investment where we know that the mine, 90 to 95% of the pink diamonds, are going to be coming off the market because they will not be produced anymore. There are no new mines to replace and replenish the pink diamond market. So you take a look at that scenario, and Harold, it's very compelling because it really opens up your eyes to the potential of what will happen somewhere down the line when these diamonds go away. Not only do you have that factor of walking into a room, the wow factor, but you have the other side of it, the investment side, and we really don't know how high these diamonds could go in value. I think it could surprise people in the future.
Well, I believe it will. Again, I understand the markets very well. I understand supply and demand, and the fact is that demand for these diamonds is the highest it's ever been, and the supplies are low, and there's brown seeping into this diamond mine, so the colors that are so prevalent from the Argyle mine will not be there anymore, because once brown starts to seep into the mine, which it's doing now, then all of a sudden they change from the beautiful, purple pinks and intense pinks to brownish pinks, and those are not investment quality diamonds. So all in all, again, I couldn't be more excited about the opportunity. It's something that, again, we're bringing forward to our clients as a phenomenal opportunity, and I think it's going to be one of the biggest money-making opportunities that we've ever had in the diamond business.
Our featured diamond of the week is a .30 carat hard-cut fancy, vivid, purplish pink Argyle. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, click on Featured Diamond of the Week. You can see a video of the diamond. Get our free weekly newsletter from Harold. We have a picture of the diamond in our newsletter. Speak with Harold. Connect with him at rarecoloreddiamonds.com or 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. We have about 4 minutes left in our show. One of the things we wanted to touch on is Harold's website, that is his auction site, hsfineauctions.com. And we will have more auctions coming up in the fall. And Harold touched on raising $70,000 for the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. That was one of our most successful, obviously, auctions to date. And every time we have an auction, it gets bigger and it gets better. And the thing that I'm totally astounded with, Harold, is how when you started this, obviously a lot of people from Canada and North America were involved, but this is starting to spread all around the world. We're talking about the UK and the Far East, and it's growing, and obviously through connections like Susan G. Komen, it will only get bigger in the future.
That's exactly it. We're in pursuit of high net worth clients, so we'll be able to buy, again, our diamonds down the road. And one of the major ways that we do that is by dealing in Europe, because at this particular time, the British pound and the euro are worth way more than the American and Canadian dollar. So basically, because we trade diamonds in American dollars at this time, those our friends in London, for example, get to buy these diamonds at a 40% discount because their currency is worth 40% more than ours is. So again, it's a phenomenal situation. And through Susan G. Komen, we'll be attending parties and auctions and that type of thing, where we will be showing amazing diamonds to very, very wealthy families. So again, all in all, very, very pleased with the way our business is going. I think it's only going to get stronger and stronger, and as the world economy gets worse and worse, it's going to be the rare colored diamond market and the gold market and silver that is going to make us very, very wealthy. And I still believe that gold and silver are going to hit highs that we've never, ever seen before.
It's hard to believe it was almost 9 years ago that Harold wrote his initial report and started his website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. 9 years ago. Naturally, Fancy Colored Diamonds, the best kept secret, was the first report Harold brought to us about investing in diamonds, and that was at the beginning of August of 2005. And you can see how well so many clients have done by investing in diamonds. And when it comes to investing in diamonds, there's only one website, one person you want to deal with, and that is Harold Siegel and rarecoloreddiamonds.com. The telephone number, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. The website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And Harold, obviously, it was a very productive week for you, and we have about 1 minute left. Geopolitically, obviously, things very dicey right now. We're not happy about it, but the truth of the matter is you still have to protect yourself.
You bet. Again, it was a very frightening week financially with what happened on Thursday in the Ukraine, with the plane being shot down, with what's happening in Israel at this particular point. Geopolitically, it's a really dangerous place right now, and so is it financially, because again, these markets are going to react to these situations eventually, and it's going to be extreme.
Thank you very much, Harold Siegel. Have a safe trip back to Colorado.
Thank you very much, my friend. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and I wish everybody a profitable day.
The most secure and profitable investment, millions of years in the making, rare colored diamonds. Diamonds, they're nature's art. Private, portable, stable wealth. Speak with Harold today about starting your own diamond investment portfolio and receive a free copy of our weekly World Financial Report on Radio newsletter, the companion to our radio show. If you're getting a newsletter from someone else, you're no longer receiving the proprietary World Financial Report on Radio newsletter, and we would say Connect with Harold and get your name on the list. We'll send it out to you via email free of charge every week. rarecoloreddiamonds.com or speak with Harold at 1-800-432-1022. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.